Hey everybody, Thomas here with TLFC. First of all, I just want to wish everyone a happy Halloween. Hope everyone has a great, fun, safe day. I know I'm taking my kiddos trick-or-treating later. It's going to be a lot of fun. But anyway, that's not why we're here. We're here to look at some 2026 World Cup kit leaks. So as you guys probably know, there are 48 teams in next year's tournament. That's 16 teams more than the previous few tournaments, so quite a few jerseys to take a look at. Thankfully, some have leaked already, so when they all come out, I'll eventually rank them. I'll probably do a home and away ranking, but as of now, I just want to take a look at some of the leaks, show them to you guys, give some opinions. You guys can leave some opinions in the comments, and we'll see what we got going and see what is going to be available for the 2026 World Cup. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. But without further ado, let's take a look at some 2026 World Cup kit leaks. Let's get into it. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and do these alphabetically. So the first team we're gonna look at is Argentina. Here's a look at Argentina's home shirt that has leaked, and this is a nice traditional Argentina shirt. I really like the way they did these blue stripes with the fade from the outside to the inside, the darker blue to the lighter blue. I think it looks nice. I think it's a sharp shirt. You know they'll sell a ton of them, especially the ones with that number 10 on them. People love their messy shirts. It's gonna be a popular shirt. It does the job. I think it's a nice shirt, so I think when it comes down to rankings, it'll end up being a pretty good one. All right, here's a look at their away shirt, and this is just mock-ups of what their shirt is supposed to look like. These are pretty reliable leaks, so I'm pretty sure this is what it's gonna be. And, you know, I don't know how I feel about this one. Argentina has been trying to do some different stuff with their away shirts in recent years. This one has like this floral artistry pattern. I think it's supposed to be designed around some paintings. It doesn't really knock my socks off, but I think it's a pretty clean looking shirt. The purple's nice, but all in all, I'm not sure how high it will rank, but I like they're trying to do something different, so that's going to go ahead and do it for Argentina. Next up, we have Belgium, and I only have a home shirt for Belgium, and here's a look at that shirt. So this is going to be their fiery Red Devil design. The Belgian national team is known as the Red Devil, so this is definitely something that pays homage to that. I think it's pretty cool. Obviously, you can see this flame pattern going throughout the shirt. I like what Adidas is doing with some of these leaks. They look pretty sharp. They're pretty simple, but they have a little bit more going on in the stitching, which you guys know I like. So that's your first look at Belgium's home kit for 2026. All right, next up we have Colombia's home shirt, and here's a look at Colombia's home shirt. And just like the Belgium shirt, it's pretty simple looking, but when you get closer, it has a lot more going on. It has this butterfly pattern going throughout the stitching of the shirt. I think that's really cool. I'm not really sure the significance of butterflies in Colombia. I was hoping someone would let me know down below. Obviously, I could have done the extra research, but I like to let you guys inform me on some of this stuff. But all in all, I do like this shirt. I think it's sharp. It captures their traditional Colombian colors. I like it. Now let's go ahead and take a look at the away shirt, and this is another leak. We really only have like one true photo of what the shirt actually looks like here in this little baggie. I don't know how I feel about this one. It's just, I don't really know the significance of it. I don't know if they're going for a jungle-y pattern or an ocean pattern. So all in all, I'm not like a giant fan of it, but it is some pretty nice poppy colors. So for that reason, I guess it looks okay. We'll see how it ranks when we get to the full kit releases, probably sometime in the spring of next year. All right, next up we have Croatia, and here's a look at the home shirt, and this is only a mock-up, so this is all I really have for the Croatia shirt. Definitely looks like a traditional Croatia home shirt. Obviously a little bit different with this white stripe going down the middle where the traditional checkerboard pattern kind of fades into that. As you guys might know, I'm not a huge fan of central badges, but it kind of tends to work a little bit more on national team kits. But all in all, I think this is a traditional Croatia shirt. We'll see if this is what it actually looks like when it's all said and done. Next, we have a look at their away shirt. Pretty much the exact same pattern in blue. Nothing too flashy, but like I said, these are just mock-ups. This might not be what they actually look like, but for now, this is what we're looking at for the Croatia home and away shirts for 2026 World Cup. All right, next up we have the England away, and here's a Nike shirt, and I gotta say this is very simple, but I do tend to like this. I like the collar on it. It has that traditional kind of sweater looking collar that I think of when I think of really old English football teams. They basically just wore sweaters, and that kind of captures that look. And this is a very simple shirt. It looks a lot like a lot of England shirts in the past, but then when you get very close to it, it has some really nice embossed stitching. It has the lion from their badge. It has the star, obviously, that they won their World Cup in 1966. It's going to be the 60-year anniversary of that World Cup, so I'm sure England will be very motivated to bring it home, as they like to say. I like this shirt. I think it's cool. It's a nice, simple Nike shirt. Probably sell a ton of these, so well done, England. This is their home shirt. No away shirt yet, but I'm sure it'll be coming. All right, next up we have France, and this is just another leak. These are just going to be mock-ups, so who knows if this is actually what it's going to look like. But here's a look at the shirt that I have, or that I've seen anyway, that is going to represent their home shirt. Apparently this is paying tribute to the Statue of Liberty. As most people know, France was pretty pivotal in helping America gain its independence. Obviously, they sent us the Statue of Liberty as a gift. I'm sure everyone knows it. I don't really see how this shirt ties into the Statue of Liberty. Doesn't really look very Statue of Liberty to me, but that's what they're calling it. That's what they're saying anyway. Not a great shirt, not horrible. It does have a pretty cool collar, but if this is how it ends up being, if this is the true leak, we'll see how it stacks up when I end up ranking these. All right, so next up we have Germany, and here's a look at their home shirt. And I gotta say, I do like this one, mostly because it has cool tradition. It's basically a combination of two of their winning shirts from 1990 and 2014. So obviously it has this 1990 color scheme, and then it kind of has the patterning, the diagonal chevron almost, if you will, pattern from the 2014 World Cup. I think it looks nice. I think it's very traditional. I think they'll probably sell a ton of these. Adidas is doing a pretty good job with these World Cup shirts. This one's no exception. I'll probably rank it relatively high when the rankings come out, but as of now, this is your look at the 2026 Germany home shirt. All right, and we do have the away shirt for Germany as well, and I do like that it has that trefoil Adidas logo. I think that looks nice. It has this chevron pattern going throughout these stripes, so it's kind of meant to play off the home shirt. The colors, they're a little different for me. They don't really pop off the shelf. It's not something I find incredible. It's a nice shirt, not incredible, but we'll see how it stacks up in the rankings. All right, that brings us to Hungary, and I have one leak for Hungary, and that is going to be their home shirt, and here's a look at the shirt. Not sure how I feel about this one. It is pretty darn plain. The badging across the center is a little odd, so I don't think it's going to rank that high for me. I think it does have some cool crosshatch stitching going throughout it, but really it's just kind of a plain shirt. I don't think it'll rank that well when I go to do the rankings, but as of now, this is a look at your Hungary home shirt for 2026. All right, next up we have Italy, and here's a look at Italy's home shirt, and this one's meant to pay homage to their 2006 World Cup win. It has been 20 years since that win, and I can't really see how this ties in. I do like the color scheme on this though. It's their traditional blue. I like the gold. I like these laurels that are going vertically throughout the shirt. Hopefully they don't rest on their laurels and rely on that 2006 win to be competitive in this tournament. But all in all, I think it's a nice looking shirt. It doesn't really jump off the page to me, but it's not horrible. They'll probably sell quite a few. Pretty good home shirt. And then we do have the away shirt for Italy as well. I gotta say I like this one a lot better. It has that old school Adidas trefoil badge, that's nice. And then this stitching going throughout the white looks really sharp. It's actually meant to represent columns that you find all throughout Italy, obviously Roman columns from thousands of years ago, so that's pretty darn cool. And I just like the touches on this. I like the color scheme on this. I like the little Italia stitching on the back of the shirt. I think that's a really nice shirt. I think they'll probably sell a ton. This one will probably rank pretty darn high when it comes down to it. All right, next up we have Japan, and here's a look at their home shirt that has leaked. And this one, I don't really like this. I think Japan traditionally has some very awesome shirts. This one doesn't really do it for me. It has this weird wavy pattern going through. I think it's meant to represent the ocean. I don't like the central badging on this. To me, I just think it's very lackluster because Japan has made some pretty cool shirts in the past, so I don't think this will rank that high, but all in all, I guess it works, and this is your first look at their home shirt. Next, we have their away shirt, and here's a look at the mock-up for that, and this one seems like this is what it's going to look like. I'm pretty sure this is a pretty reliable leak. It has 12 different colors in it, so you'll notice there's 12 colors starting from the outside, and then it ends in one red color in the middle. The red color in the middle is meant to represent the people of Japan. The other 11 colors are meant to represent each player on the starting 11. I think that's a cool touch. I like the traditional trefoil logo on this. I think this one's pretty cool. It doesn't really jump off the page, but I like some of those unique touches, and they're trying to make it unique to the team and pay homage to the fans. I think that's cool. This one might rank relatively high. We'll just have to wait and see. All right, next up we have Mexico, and here's Mexico's home shirt, and this seems like it's going to be a pretty reliable leak. I love this shirt. This is a really cool shirt. It pays homage to their 1998 shirt that they wore in France for the World Cup. It has those really cool Aztec patterns going throughout it. Honestly, it's a cool shirt. It's very traditional. I love that it pays homage to those older shirts, which those shirts from 1998 are absolutely iconic. I don't think this one's going to be any exception to that. I think they're going to sell a ton. As someone who is from, North America, I'm going to see a lot of these in California. They're going to be all over the place, and for good reason. It's a pretty darn cool shirt, so well done Mexico on this home shirt. They have released an away shirt as well, and these are some reliable leaks as well, and I like this one also. It's very simple. I love the black, I love the red, I love the plain white shirt, the trefoil badge again, and then when you get close to the stitching on this one, it has some more of that cool Aztec pattern. I feel like they're going to do really well selling these shirts. They're representing well considering they're one of the hosts for the tournament. Well done Mexico, well done Adidas. These are some bangers. They'll probably rank pretty high. All right, next up we have Portugal's home shirt, and this is a pretty simple shirt also, but it does have some nice touches. Obviously, it has this wavy pattern going throughout because Portugal is a huge seafaring country. Obviously, they have lots of exploration history, so I like that they're tying into that. You can see inside the shirt on the back of the neck there, it has that nautical star, obviously tying into their seafaring past. I think that's a really cool touch. All in all, I don't think it's the most incredible shirt, but I like that they try to do something a little bit different. This one will probably rank relatively well. We'll just have to see when we get down to it when all these shirts release. And then I don't really have the away shirt for Portugal, but I do have what they're calling a special kit. So I'm not really sure if they're gonna wear 3 shirts. Traditionally, I don't think you're allowed to wear 3 shirts at the World Cup. Correct me if I'm wrong, but they're calling this their special kit. I don't really understand why or what the heritage is behind it, but I do think it's a cool looking shirt. I like the collar on it. I like the stitching throughout the shirt that it kind of has that tie into their crest. I think that's really cool. This one will sell a ton. If this is actually a kit they'll be wearing in the tournament, they're gonna sell a ton of these. I think it's really cool looking. Like I said, great collar, great sleeves, nice little tie-ins with the green and the red. I think it's a cool shirt. Well done on this one, but like I said, I'm not 100% sure if this is their away or what the deal is with this one, but maybe one of you guys knows, let me know in the comments. All right, next up, we finally have our first Puma shirt, and that's gonna be for Senegal. And this is Senegal's home shirt leak, and I think this one's really, really cool. Obviously, it has this really unique, colorful pattern going throughout the white, but I like how subtle it is. So that really unique pattern is supposed to pay homage to the colorful minibuses that once dominated the streets of Dakar. I think that's a nice touch. Really, really cool. I honestly think this is a pretty unique and cool shirt. This one might end up being iconic. I think a lot of collectors are gonna want this one. It's a pretty cool shirt. Well done on the home shirt, Senegal. And then we do have an away leak for Senegal as well. I think this is a pretty reliable leak as well. And this one obviously is green. It has this interesting pattern going throughout the middle of the shirt, which is supposed to be inspired by Senegalese fabric art, which I like that touch. To me, it kind of looks like they got ran over by a truck. Looks a little bit like tire tread. I'll try to get over that, but all in all, I think it's a unique shirt. Not sure how high it will rank, but here's a look at Senegal's away shirt for 2026. Well, they're leaked, so hopefully this ends up being the actual shirt. All right, next up we have Spain, and this is going to be a reliable leak from what I can tell, and this is a very traditional looking Spain home shirt. I like it. It reminds me of the ones they wore in 2006 with those little yellow pinstripes. To me, I think it definitely screams Spain. Other than that, nothing that like super incredible about this shirt, but it definitely represents Spain well. I like the España on the back of the collar. Those are nice little touches. Not sure it'll rank too high, but definitely does the job of capturing the Spanish colors and some of their traditional look. And then I do have an away kit for Spain as well. This one's very simple. I really like this one. I like the gold trim. I like that maroon color. It's a little bit different than their traditional colors, but I think it looks sharp. I like the way the badge is offset with the white and the maroon on the plain white shirt. It's got that trefoil badge. This one's pretty cool. It's for how simple it is. I tend to like it. We'll see how it ranks. It might rank real high, might rank right in the middle, most likely in the middle, but all in all, this is your away shirt for 2026 for Spain. All right, next up we have Switzerland, and I think this is going to be a reliable leak as well. This is a real photo of what the shirt is supposed to look like. And once again, we got another Puma shirt. Not sure how I feel about this one. It has this wavy pattern going throughout the shirt. From what I've read, this wavy pattern is actually supposed to represent their passports. Apparently they have really unique passports with some crazy wavy patterns in it, probably to prevent fraud. So I think that's kind of a nice touch, but all in all, the shirt doesn't really jump off the shelf to me. I can't imagine I rank this one too high. All right, getting towards the end here, now we have a shirt for Turkey. Here's a look at their home shirt leak, and this one has central badges, which you know I'm not a huge fan of, but I think it kind of works on this shirt. I do like that red bar going across the middle. I like that it has this wavy pattern going throughout it. I really wasn't able to find much on what that wavy pattern is supposed to represent. It works. It definitely looks like a Turkish home shirt. Definitely reminds me of Turkey, but I think it's serviceable. So now let's move on to their away shirt, which I have a leak of that as well. It is very similar to the home shirt. It's just kind of opposite. So obviously this one's all red, but that wavy pattern is throughout the bulk of the shirt instead of on the central stripe. I like that they're kind of playing off both jerseys to be the same design. That's a nice touch, but as you know, I'm not a huge fan of these central badges. It's not going to be one I rank super high, but all in all, they do capture traditional looks for Turkey, so I do like that about them. So that's going to go ahead and do it for our Turkish home and away shirts for 2026. All right, guys, so we're on to our last team that I have leaks for anyway, and that is going to be Uruguay. And here's a look at their home shirt, and I like this one. It is a nice traditional looking Uruguay home shirt. I like the collar on this one. I like that it's their simple plain blue. It has these nice little black pipings that are simple, and they don't really take away from that traditional plain blue they wear. It's not something that I absolutely love, but it's something that I really like. And if I was an Uruguay fan, I'd probably buy this. So well done on the home shirt. All right, so we're on to our last kit, and this is Uruguay's away shirt, and they're calling this the Wakanda kit or the Black Panther kit, obviously because it looks like Black Panther's uniform or suit or whatever you want to call it. Obviously, I don't think Uruguay was trying to make a shirt that looked like the Black Panther because South America isn't too close to where I would imagine the mythical made-up place of Wakanda would be in Africa, but I think it's a cool looking shirt. I don't know how I feel about it. I think I'm going to need to see the real shirt before I can really pass judgment on it, but I guess they're trying to do something different. But Central badges, not a huge fan. We'll see how it looks when they actually come out with the real shirt.
Wakanda forever!
All right, guys, so that's going to go ahead and do it for another video. Let me know what you think about some of these leaks. Obviously, some of these might not be what the actual jerseys are, but I think all in all, these are relatively reliable, and I think a lot of these are going to look exactly how they look in this video. So I appreciate everybody watching. Once again, I hope everyone has a fantastic Halloween, a super fantastic weekend, and we'll go ahead and catch you on the next one, guys. Take care. Bye.